morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you're doing very well on your journey. You know, this is an interesting planet. You know, man is snoozing pretty good here, and the negative forces are strong. And it's good to see you all, our light bulbs out there, channeling that beautiful God force, helping people get well. And listen, be strong, because there's a lot of things going to test you. The negative forces, they test you, and they're strong at this level. That's why it's vital that you bring in the light, each and every one of you. We can discuss our little bitty differences later. But I want to try to keep up with this, and I hope you're doing well. And those in pain, hang in there. Use your castor oil packs, whatever you have to do for the pain. And try to get your lymph system detoxed. This is the biggest thing you face, is get these acids out of this body and do it in a timely manner before these cells start breaking down. And unfortunately, we're all in a mess with that. No question about it. And I think working as a good team is important, as we all are, and I love it. Important that man become one and love each other. This is what's going on around the world. It's sad, you know. It shows just extreme ignorance and unconsciousness. And it's funny, in today's time, on this particular level of creation, you would think that it would have matured a little bit more. Technology has matured quite a bit, and that was my point, is that the mind is way out of control. We haven't developed our ability to control our minds, because we haven't been working with ourselves, we've been working with our minds. And now people are, and each soul is craving to know who they are. They're craving to know where they come from, the consciousness of life. They're too busy playing with the mind, and that was the point of living in the present moment. Living in the present moment is living in eternity, that whenever you engage the mind in a thought process, now you pulled yourself into creation, and now you're creating. And there's times you guys have to spend with yourselves alone. Being alone, and I have to have that time. I have to have that alone space, because that's the time you understand yourself as the all. It's only when you're totally alone that you're home. Harriet, I'm going to give this to Roger here. This is a lady that's under our care. She wrote me and said she's been having some GI pain, but which I think was discussed in appointment. But she went to her medical doctor, who is an integrative medical doctor, and this lady wants to know about the herbs and stuff. Harriet, you can tell her all you want. We don't have to keep anything secret anymore. You know, there was a day when you wanted to keep it down, because they would come after me if you didn't. But nowadays, we need to come after them. And that's what they don't understand. You only come after the citizens so long, and then they stand up and come after your butt by numbers. And this government hasn't learned it. Other governments haven't learned it. Is you can be mean to your people so long, and then they're going to kill you. So now it's a time we stand up, all of us, and we talk our truth, and we speak our truth, and we take this medical doctors, we take them down. We take them down to where they can understand truth and not hurting anybody, and get off of this high horse of egotism and theories and crap like that. I was, you know, digging back into some biochemistry, you know, and again, some of the thoughts of the cations causing all the problems. I mean, they blame the electrolytes. They blame calcium and magnesium and sodium, potassium for the problems, and they revere phosphorus and nitrogen-rich foods. That's the problem. Those theories don't hold any water, because they don't show that in actual practice. In actual practice, those foods that are loaded with cations actually heal people. So you tell your medical doctor all you want. It's time that she start using the herbs, and I'll help her to use the herbs, and I'll help her to start curing her patients. And that's what we want to do. We want medical doctors to open up to us and let us show them how to cure. Then with their knowledge of emergency medicines and stuff, they'll be a far better practitioner. Right now, they belong to the elite killers of the planet. And some of you that love medical doctors, I apologize, but truth is truth, and it's time we wake up. The great medical doctors out there, they just need to open their vision more and understand the great lymphatic system a little more, understand acids a little more, and the importance of chemistry. And that is what you're eating. The problem is, to a chemist, calcium is calcium no matter what source it is, whether you're digging it out of a pit or it's coming in a fig. This is the problem. In chemistry, calcium's calcium. It's just not the way it is. Everything at different levels are magnetically bonded into compounds of different types, but also before that into the salts and things, which is the levels that humans need more than elementals. I've always found this fetish with elementals to be unwarranted, particularly down at the dirt level. Not a lot of people crave dirt. Like I said, I had one pregnant lady once crave dirt. She was really bad. Now, another question she asked also wants to take a number of blood tests. Right now, I am in the protocol about 3 months. I am detoxing, and I'm reading this to you because I think this is good information. Will the blood test results really reflect what is going on with my body now? Absolutely, it will. And that's important. That you can have these blood tests. Some things you have to be cautionary because cancer markers can go up. Cholesterol can go up as you're detoxifying it out of as you're pulling proteins out, they can reflect that in the blood. Same thing with any type of viral loads. You can see them go up and down. So, it's a good look though, but in reality, you want to see your creatinines, you want to see everything go in line. Your proteins will always be low as a vegetarian, no freaky there. So just remember, a lot of the stats that most biochemists have in these labs aren't always where they need to be. Some labs are way radical with their ratios, and some labs are more realistic. So keep in mind, we're in a world where everything is in flux. There isn't one thing that people know that hold true all the way through. So no, get your blood test, Harriet, and definitely tell your medical doctor about the herbs and who we are, and so she can work with us, because what we want to do is bond. Even though I'm hard on them because they're killing too many people. We want to bond and change the way we think. And there's got to be some heavy problems coming down on pharmaceutical companies. They're the problem. And they're the ones, when you get this wealthy, even federal judges are willing to, and it's like, we can't have that anymore. We can't have judicial systems corrupt. So I think now is survival, give love, get people healthy, and let that help. Now listen, we got this from Leo Bluesy. Leo Bluesy is a new guy to the program, and I love his guitars. Is that a bass? Yeah. New to the site, very interesting. Can adrenal glands give pain? Absolutely, man. You can get tumors on adrenal glands. We see this a lot where when we look at the eyes, and I think I've showed you guys, where you just see one big mass of mucus. Yeah, the adrenal glands can get tumors, cysts, and everything else, because remember, it's ironic that they control the kidneys they sit on, but at the same time they can shut down the kidneys and back up the lymph in them and create tumors. And then how do you get the kidneys working when the adrenals are down? It's all, you can get some out there with questions, and you can't worry about them. You just want to put your feet on the path and go straight down that. Here's let me finish up with this guy. He's an adult now at 58. At times of sudden stress, as in an emergency situation, I suffer severe, deep throbbing pain each side of my lower back, like a pumping sensation that does put me on the floor at times. It's stress-induced for sure. Well, stress-induced is switches the neurotransmitters that your adrenal glands produce, but I can tell you, you're right, probably kidneys or adrenals. Could be. Remember, there's some knots that can develop just above the hip area on each side. This is the nerve, the lymphatic ganglia can be real painful there too. So this is all about the kidneys, adrenals, and the lymph system though, man. So you just hit it and take it on. Fine looking bunch of guitars though. I had a friend here and he was fighting some throat cancer, and He's a blues singer. He played with Earth, Wind, and Fire. He's played with everybody. He's got the original Lucille, B.B. King Lucille. He's played with everybody. And he's got like thousands of guitars. Thousands of them. I think he said to me one day he had 5,000 guitars. It's like, damn, that's a hell of a lot of guitars. I'd be going now, my mind is going to have to be engaged because I don't know which one to play today, because I could intuitively go to this 12-string Rickenbacker or 12-string Vox. I had a 12-string acoustical Vox. I didn't know Vox made good guitars. This is Aristar, A-R-I, star 8888. I won't read your stuff as you requested. This is a type 1. Absolutely, sweetheart. This is the problem. You've went everywhere. Get on the fruit. If you glucose load for a few days, don't freak out with that. It's possible, especially when you're on the fruit. Fat breakdown can yield glucose, which can yield higher blood sugars. And this can all be involved also in detox and fat breakdown and everything else. So don't sweat the small stuff. Get on the fruit, berries, and melons, though, and keep those blood sugars down as much as possible. At the same time, don't forget, you could be a neurological type 1. You've had this since 12 or 13 years old. So it could be the beta cells themselves. But just like you suspected, just like you said, the more insulin, you just keep requiring more insulin. The same thing with steroids and hormones, honey. You have it right, smart, right on the head here, dear. Yes, the more you take, and insulin is a hormone, and yes, the more you take, the less you produce. That's the problem. And these are some of the problems we get into. Unfortunately, it would be nice early on when there was a detection of blood sugar problems that we immediately went into the adrenals, into the pancreas, kicked up the pituitary, and started making the body healthy again and pulling them out of it before they get too far down the road. Because the more down the road you go, the more the beta cells are wondering, you know. So there's that problem we face too, is the shutdown of the normal production of insulin by the beta cells because of the supplied insulin. A real big problem and a big catch-22, and all I can tell you is you just gotta work and work and work and work your way. You can use glandulars, helpful. You can work your way out of this by getting cells healthy. Make sense? Cells is at the core of this whole issue, right? It isn't fluids that create insulin, it's cells. So we talk about the fluids of the body only because they directly affect the health of the cells. So obviously you want to deal with the fluids and make sure they're moving properly, and 2, doing their job. Blood feeding everybody properly, lymph cleaning the acid waste from cells, parasitic waste, and immune responses, and all that implies. So yeah, we're looking at the fluids big time. We must clean up the fluids, but we look to the cells because, again, we're flipping back to the kidneys and adrenals where the cells control the fluids. So you just got this symbiotic relationship between the fluids and the cells, and everybody needs to be healthy. Well, then there brings in the question, what is health? Well, that shouldn't be on this site, because we already know by the time you hit here that you should know that raw food is much better than cooked food. There's no question. No one can prove that cooking a food makes it better. And I say this that's not coming to me, but you can't. I'll say this, in vegetables, if you lightly steam them, you break down the cellulose, and yes, they're more palatable. But now wait a minute. If we have to do that, is that not meaning that food wasn't good for us in the first place? Because if you can't eat it raw, then why waste your time? Because no other animal's going to sit there and try to waste his time. I saw a show where some animal tried to break this thing, and pretty soon it went on. But that's our problem. If we can't eat it raw, don't eat it. You know, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with steamed vegetables. There's nothing wrong with all that. Lower magnetics. All the neurological cases don't want to take that low energetic food, because it'll just make them more weaker and more weaker. So neurological cases shouldn't have any cooked food. But for those that want a little balance, okay. But honey, try to get up on your fruits here and get over this type 1. If you need help, there's the Facebook site, all these guys. And let me tell you, Ken there, he's a type 1, knocking it out. So everybody, it's real hard. We're working on it. We got to get the beta cells to wake back up again and say, oh, it's my job. So I read your journey and what you tried to do to yourself to overcome this. I have to applaud you on one side, but you saw what happened on the other side. Diabetic comas are not fun. But you now have your doorway to remedy. Take it and get yourself well, dear one, and we'll talk later. And whatever you go through, your blood sugars will go up and down, okay, but keep riding with the truth you know. Keep working on it, because things have to be worked for nowadays. Our health is so far down that we have to build ourselves up. And don't freak out if it takes a little time. This is what, we're raised in a society that teaches there's a remedy right around the corner. There's an herbal remedy, or there's a fruit from from Costa Rica that'll cure everything, or there's this MSM that cures everything. All the lies and the bull craps and the propagandas. You got to work for your health nowadays. You got to realign your cell's consciousness to the divine. And the best way to do it is to connect to the divine. Well, you connect to the divine in the sense that you are the divine in consciousness, and your bodies must connect to the divine as pure as food sources and thought processes and emotions. When you move toward the more infinite type of thinking and things, you definitely pull yourself to the higher aspects of the mind. The mind has a multitude of levels, as we can see. From the honey boo-boos to the monks that go out to the desert and fast for 40 days and travel out of body. Oh, it gets worse than honey boo-boos. To me, they're halfway civilized compared to some of the people I know. Oh. All right, here's one. PJMARTO Jr. I have a few questions about anxiety, OCD, ADHD disorders, and how to fix these issues naturally. Also, I was wondering if wheatgrass is really good for you. I have been taking 2 ounces every day for a few years now, but I get really irritable and angry after I take it. Is that a cleansing thing, or is my body not agreeing with me? It sounds like it's not agreeing with your body anymore. At one level, grasses can be okay. At another level, no way. I'm just telling you, there's levels, and a lot of you have experienced it already. You've communicated with me over Facebook. You know when you get way up there in the fruit life and you try to go to a herbivore and become a horse or a cow for a day. Doesn't work out too well, does it? Because your digestion, you start to realize how fine your digestion is, how sensitive and how simplistic the Homo sapien digestion is. We're not sitting out there trying to eat foods that are, your body's got to rip them apart and everything else first. I mean, you keep it simple and your health will be simple and everything will be simple. Your love, everything will be promoted. Your body's working so hard to break down some of these foods, and then how do we compensate for the extreme energy loss? Remember, a human, in my opinion, a human being should be at 8,000 magnetic angstroms of energy, at least, considering a vegetable has 9, a fruit has around 11 or 12. We should at least be up there at a vegetable level. But if you took a human and you imparted them with spirit to bring their consciousness and their energy of their body up to 7,000 angstroms, a spiritual God-man would be millions of angstroms probably. But if the average person, if we tried to bring them up too high, they couldn't handle it mentally and emotionally. Remember, your mind and your emotions are tied to your eating habits. It's all tied together. Your state of consciousness is what you're experiencing. That's why you hear in all these gurus and things, you must change your state of consciousness. But you don't want to change it from one thing to another. A lot of people are watching the Kardashians and, oh, I wish I could be just like her. She's such a pretty woman and she's so rich and she's such a... No. That's the problem. We live in a world where we want to be like because they're better looking or they have more money. No, we can't do that. That's what we're doing. We're promoting to be something other than yourself instead of promoting be yourself. If we promoted be yourself around the world, we wouldn't be fighting each other. We would be enjoying each other's differences. Hey, man, you're cool. Instead of, hey, man, you don't look, I'm going to kill you. You don't look like me. I mean, we just got to change this, And I think every one of you, this is the back door. You heard of the back door, man? This is the back door. And it's a very important back door because they don't, a lot of people don't realize this is going to change who they are, who they perceive themselves to be. And it's very important that the humans do that. And for those of you that are God lovers, if you want to experience the divine, then you must become the divine, which you already are. So you have to drop all these lower world creation stuff. It's like, do you want to keep playing in the playground, or do you want to go home? Supper. Now, okay. Also, I am not a lover of wheatgrass. I knew Ann Wigmore personally. I can just say I'm an alfalfa guy if you want to pump the greens. Far better green juice, more powerful, much more nutrition than wheatgrass is alfalfa. With that said, I think fruits, berries, and melons are Homo sapien food, period. Yeah. You might have some mountain primates suck down on alfalfa plants if we could get them up there to them. But they go for more tender leaves and things like that because they really would go to the fruits, berries, and melons if we could get them in the mountains. This is the problem. We are a species of fruits, berries, and melons. We need to eat predominantly that and then go crossbreed if you want. I don't care. But if you're going to get well, this channel is about getting well. I don't judge what you eat. I particularly don't care to be judged myself. We do our very best. We trust each other to do our very best. Sometimes we get in ruts. Sometimes we get in fights. Yeah, we all know that. So pull yourself back. I try to pull myself all the time back when I go down a road I don't like. But I am in agreement with you with the wheatgrass. I've seen it. I mean, you want a detox and you want the astringents. You can power pack nutrition all you want, but that doesn't mean you're going to move lymph. That's the problem, and you've all seen that. It isn't a blood problem. It isn't a nutritional problem, yet we have to start eating nutritionally. Make sense? Again, when you're talking about anxieties, OCDs, ADHDs, you need to realize, and I just got another case last week, another ominous case, where immediately after vaccination, this poor girl, she's 23 now, but she went into constant seizures, and I mean on the hour. So here's a mother, lived with a baby from 4 years old, 3 years old, after a vaccination. This little girl had constant seizures, grand mal, all of them. So she's 23 now, and they don't have the seizures controlled well. The mother's still up all night long with seizures and stuff. How about a life like that? That makes me want to throw up. And I want to say, all these pharmaceutical people that think they're so cool, I'd like to vaccinate all those guys and really get them. You know, I've seen this time and time and time and time again. When are we going to wake up? When is the FDA going to start acting? Man up, FDA. Don't fall for money. Man up and be the men and women that you should be and protect us as a consumer protection agency. Instead of going for the money. Oh, look, I can paste things in my house now. Oh, sorry, a bunch of people are getting killed because I allowed vaccinations. I don't care what you say. There's way too much evidence to show how many babies are going ADD, ADHD, OCD, all these seizures. Had another case of a 4-month-old baby, Hep B vac at 4 months, went into constant seizures. Her left eye actually took a wayward east, and she went into liver failure. These are facts. Their family after family after family has been here. Notice specifically after the inoculation. Now, why do we have people that have the inoculation and don't have these problems? And we've talked about this. You're right. Weak adrenal glands, weak myelin sheaths. Of course, the AMA doesn't consider the individuality of someone, their pre-genetic disposition for weaknesses, and what does that mean with the pharmaceuticals or whatever they're given. You don't give people neurotoxicity. That's why we're fighting what we're fighting. Be it for them that they have to enter surgery as a young child having that problem. Whoa! We see all kinds of problems with this, where infants can't get their breaths, they die from stop breathing, and the medical doctors are looking stupid like, oh, could have been, oh, they did it. We gotta bury this kind of crap. This is the 21st century, and if we don't bring this planet up, I don't know. You know, and not that I really care, because to tell you the truth, you know, we're all just visiting here, but how nice is it for our children? How nice is it for other souls that want to visit? Come, we made this nice for you. Come enjoy the rock. Oh no, this is where you come to a hard time, which maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, and okay. Always when you find these cases where they're seizing and getting these ADHDs and all these problems, these neurological problems after vaccinations, you know immediately neurotoxicity. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Neurotoxicity. Beautiful day when our own government forces neurotoxicity on its citizens. How about we do what that federal judge says, and maybe we do need to stand up and make our government start paying for things. But now we're just going, oh, we don't like him because he doesn't like this, and we don't like him because he doesn't like... We got to get away from that thinking. It isn't up to our government to run our lives and to do this for us and do that for us. They're only here to protect us as states. We are responsible as citizens of God, as citizens on this planet in a free country governed by a constitution. We are responsible for making things right, not the government. So we got to get away from sucking on the government's teat. They don't want to cut any money because they're politicians. They know their election is up to, if I cut this, I cut that. That's why we're sitting there going, well, I don't know what to cut. Half of it right off. Listen, I was in the military. I can only tell you that military spending is, unless they've changed it since I was, which they could have, it's been a long time, I can tell you that I was responsible for ordering, because I was ahead of the drafting department, and I can just say that if my engineer said, you don't spend it, we lose it, so you spend it. So I had stacks of stuff that I didn't even need. So there's a lot in the military you can cut down. Remember, we've gotten rid of those days of $100 hammers, or have we? I don't know. It's enough to say, my friend, you've got to strengthen up your electrical system. 1, brain and nerve number 2. I definitely get into the adrenals. That's your neurotransmitters that runs the autonomic. Get up here, upper circuit, brain and nerve. Get your lymph moving. Clean up your bowels. Get your kidneys cleaned up. Get these neurotoxins. You have to detoxify these neurotoxins out of your body, my friend. I don't know what else to tell you. That at least we have that. We can detox these factors out of our body. So yeah, do that and you'll be okay. I would trade that 2 ounces of wheatgrass juice for 2 ounces of fresh, dark purple grape juice. That would be much better for you. Hey, Doc, it is September 14th, 2012. Woo! Day 4. Jesus, driving. It's this. This has got to be Babe. Babe and Earl. My God. Day 400. Day 400. Now listen, this was September 14th. Was that yes? No. September. Can't be September 14th. Right? This is September. Today's only the... No. Today's the 18th. You're right. Where am I? The class is coming up. Ah! Well, plan to have a big party at the class, guys. Day 400 of juice fasting. 400 days of juice fasting. Isn't there the Guinness World Book of Records somewhere around here? Spending my time resting. It has picked up the detox. Warm hugs, Babe. The site that cares. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys kicking butt. 400. Finally getting it. Look at this. Babe has been on this for 400 days, and she hasn't felt a lot better through this journey. Get that one. Explain that one. Now she's claiming she's finally moving her limbs. I tell you, you're a pillar of strength, babe. That's all I can tell you. A pillar of strength. You keep working it out. Isn't it funny that some people have to do what they have to do to get what they have to get? You know, I mean, it's amazing that Babe was willing to do this. She needed to do this, and it showed in 400 days that a lot of those days she wasn't feeling any better, which is strange on a detox, especially with juices. I mean, that's weird to me that she took, up to 350 days, and I think I talked with her at a year's thing, and or close, and she didn't feel a lot better. Isn't that amazing? But now she's starting to see the movement of the lymph. I don't know what to say about that. I can't remember, babe, if you're on herbs and all that with that. I can't remember what you're doing there. So busy so much right now. But amazing woman there. I'm telling you, I think you need to go down in the book of the natural health. I don't know how many. I'm sure people have lived longer, but amazing, amazing feat. 400 days on juices. Amazing. To the medical profession, babe, you should be about dead. But if you look at it, she's getting more nutrition than people on a standard American diet by 1,000 times. So why wouldn't she be pulling herself back out of this? She's just not getting the fiber, but she's getting plenty of nutrition, power packing the nutrition. So I don't know with the herbs or whatever, but in 400 days, you should be superwoman, babe, at that. So I don't know what to say. Just keep honking. Can't remember your eyes right now. Got too many things I'm thinking about today. Danielle. Hi, Dr. Morris. Danielle. Ouija. Hey, Daniel. Ouija bird. I am getting cold shins, knees, and feet lately. These bones feel cold and comfortable. A little worried. Well, break yourself, a Ouija bird. Now, listen, you got to be real careful because you know how you are. So, you want to keep your center, keep your strength, keep your center, Daniel, and maybe warm up a little bit with some warm vegetable soups. With all that nutrition cooked in there, make sure it's all organic. Make yourself a nice veggie soup and warm up with that a little bit. Sounds like a little thyroid, but you are battling your thyroid and adrenals. And in healing, you're going to have those ups and down days where one day the adrenals are crashed and the next day they're up. The next day the thyroid's crashed and the next day it's up. It's funny how that is, and it's just a process of waxing and waning of the movement of lymph, the movement of acids out of tissue that was highly acidic for a while. I mean, you can imagine all kinds of scenarios going on in there. And Daniel, you're giving it one of the best tries, so hang in there, man. A little worried, generally you got real weak adrenals. Daniel, we all know a Ouija bird by now, real weak adrenals, trying to pull himself up out of this. I've been on all fruit for 2.5 months since a 21-day water fast with a few green drinks a couple of times a week and avocados on a full herbal program. Had a blood test about a month ago, came back with low neutrophils and white blood cells, as well as low creatinine. Never been low before. Well, we want that low creatinine. 0.3, 0.4 is low to some labs, but a lot of labs are 0.3 is low in normal. I don't know where yours is at, but just keep that in mind. I would say that good creatinine would be around 0.4, 0.3, 0.4. I really do. I don't think too low is an issue at all. I don't like the low white blood cell count. You want to check that again. Might want to get it because you talked about your bones here. That would be bone marrow. So we don't want that. So I would get up on there and let me take a look at, I'll give this to one of the girls to take a look at here. My doctor says I need to eat protein. My teeth are losing enamel too and looking a little transparent. I have been adding it. Well, you got to get your parathyroid up. You've got to get your thyroid and parathyroid. That's how you pull calcium back in those teeth. You're going to lose calcium in the body always to acidosis. So you're always going to lose calcium in your teeth, and we can blame the fruit or we can blame the vegetables, but that isn't it. The problem is in the parathyroid gland and in the lymph system, those two places. And of course, that's where you reach in, Ouija, that's where you reach in and have your problems. You know that thyroid, parathyroid, and adrenals. You have all that issue you're facing with emotions and things like that. Protein won't build the teeth. This is calcium. You could use the Bones formula, but I'd like to look at your case, Daniel, and see what you're doing here. I've been adding to 1 pint-liter of green juices every day for a week or so now. My doctor's asking for a repeat blood. I would do a repeat blood test. Why don't you pump up on some alfalfa? and alfalfa juice and build up with some alfalfa a little bit. See where you are with that, my friend, my doctor. But I've been considering cutting the cord with them lately. Also been feeling really jittery. I am taking Adrenal 160. You might want to cut that down then. 2-3 times a day. Why don't you cut that down, Daniel, to 1-3 times a day or 1 twice a day? Could be you've reached enough now. Go cut that down. Should do well. But parathyroid, I want you to think about that. Take the Bones formula or something. Let's get those teeth built back up and keep moving yourself through, Daniel. You're doing really well. You've come from a real low place, you know, and you've done real well. I'm real proud of you. So keep hanging in there, my friend. We all are here on your side, for sure. So let's keep watching you. I would kind of break and get some soup, vegetable soup, some warm vegetable soup. Kind of warm yourself up a little bit. Do some alfalfa tabs and stuff like this, and pump yourself up a little bit and get kind of balanced out. And then go back to detox a little more. Detox can rat you out. There's no question about it. Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to come look at this right there on her real quick.
That tumor? Yeah, I will. I'm going to break real quick for 2 seconds to take a look at a tumor, and I'll be right. Another tumor. So hang tight real quick. Tumors. It's coming. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Apologize for that. Maybe getting a tumor off of her. But stay with us, Daniel. Get a hold of Shannon or something, and let's see if we can't get you straightened around there a little bit. The service for this Saturday is Dr. Moore Cerebral Health Club. What is this? The service for this Saturday has officially been canceled. They show again. I don't know what this is. Something not mine. YouTube. Hi, Dr. Morris. Read that poke root is seriously toxic, and most herbalists, such as Susan Weed, only recommend 1 drop of tincture per single dose. Is it okay to add poke root to the Heal All Tea blend? I usually make up 2 liters at a time with 8 teaspoons of Heal All Tea and leave herbs to infuse in the 2-liter thermos flask. Drinking 3 to 4 cups usually lasts 1.5 days. I figured 1 teaspoon of poke root to the 2 liters is right amount. It's okay to add a teaspoon of mullein and 1 teaspoon of red clover to the 2-liter brew as well. Absolutely. I cannot afford lymph formula at the moment and harvested dry these herbs from the garden but didn't know what to do with them. Okay. Let's see. Daniel. Okay, so another Daniel. I've recently redid all my formulas. I redid them because the FDA has a ban on poke root, bloodroot, chaparral, obviously, licorice root and leaf. That's why I said to you in a couple of videos together, I'm developing a class action lawsuit against the FDA for these moves. I understand poke root is very toxic. Bloodroot, chaparral, all these can be toxic if used inappropriately. So can a whole host of other herbs, to tell you the truth, if used inappropriately. However, you've seen how much bloodroot, poke root, and chaparral I've used in 40 years by the gallons. And I've used them on a lot of people, from babies to adults. No one's ever died. No one's ever had liver problems. No one's ever had a problem with them. Matter of fact, those three are one of the top cancer herbs on the planet. They're the top lymphatic herbs on the planet. You cannot beat bloodroot, and no wonder they would love to get rid of bloodroot. That is the surgical removal of tumors by nature. You know, but when you start outlawing these things and taking the responsibility out of people's hands, and at the same time touting yourself as a consumer protection agent, we just want to protect the public, and at the same time, you allow thousands of pharmaceuticals that are well-known liver damagers. You're only saying that bloodroot, chaparral, and pokeroot have the potential. You're not giving cases. You're saying it has the potential, yet we know hundreds, if not thousands, of pharmaceuticals definitely cause liver damage, all the statins for sure. And look at this. How many of them kill people? Forget about a little liver damage. You can repair that. What about the death? We have pharmaceuticals that have a kill ratio. Imbriel. Look at the kill ratio of Imbriel. Look at a commonly used antibiotic. Still, FDA still allowing them to kill people. Cipro. How does the FDA explain this in front of all of the mothers, all of the fathers, all of the people on this planet, how they can ban herbs, but they don't want to ban pharmaceuticals? Oh, they do once in a while to make them look good, like, oh, we're going to ban this for you. We're doing our job for you. Right. Smoke screen all the time from our government. So all I can tell you is that I love these herbs. I would keep them on the minor side, because when you look at a formula, I might have only 10% pokeroot in the whole formula, maybe 15 of 100% of a formula. So you get a dropper full. Only about 15% of that is actual pokeroot or bloodroot or chaparral. So I took all these three herbs out of my formulas just because, you know, people, you got a society that wants to know Gras. Is this generally regarded as safe? Is this FDA approved? These are coming from people that will be willing to take a pharmaceutical that'll kill them, saying, well, the FDA said this is okay. Oops. So you can see this gets under my crawl, and I think that if you have a body here and you want to make this a better place to stay, then you're going to have to take care of this government. I think killing people is old-fashioned. We need to go into the courts and find a way to hold federal judges responsible for their problems. So we just need we the people to stand up worldwide and say love, love, love. You know, and I don't know how you do that, and whether we even can do that. It's enough to say that this level of healing is required, and is going to be required for anyone that has a genetic body on this planet. And so that's going to make them have to find us, isn't it? Forgive me if I found it a little quirky this morning, but you get tired of this stuff. You just over and over. It isn't about the folk. It isn't about healing. It's about the money. It's about the ego. It's about the negative forces, the control of others. You know, so for you beautiful souls out there that are the light, stand up and be the light and make a wave. Because so what? Stand up and help the people on this planet. Be a God, man, or woman, and stand up and demand truth. You know, that's what we have to do, is just demand truth out of our people. You know, people have to learn to be able to take truth too. You know, it's kind of like this Wisconsin thing, and they're fighting this law, and they got a corrupt federal judge to put it down. It's like, all I can say that all the states are going bankrupt, and if you want to fight over whether you make more money than someone else over a bankrupt state, you go right ahead. But this is the problem. Most people are not thinking properly. We're about to go bankrupt as a nation, let alone 50 states, and then how many cities are about to go bankrupt. They did like everybody else. They spent a lot of money thinking money just grew on trees and they could just tax the private citizen. Well, the private citizen is now taxed to death, and they want to tax them more. So you see, this is a big, serious problem. Serge. Hello, Dr. Morris. I hope this email finds you and your extended team very well. And Serge, I hope this finds you well, my friend. I was just wondering if you had any feedback on Dr. Robert Young and his book, The pH Miracle Diet. It seems like Dr. Young shares a lot of same philosophies as you do with regards to acids being the primary cause. Yeah, and I think that any of the good practitioners out there are going to come to this conclusion. There's no other conclusion to come to realistically. If you tear this apart, this is the only one that's going to come up in your face. I had a lady in that didn't like Dr. Robert Young. I don't know Dr. Robert Young, to tell you the truth. I've read part of his book. I really don't know. This lady was in the other day, had been to Dr. Robert Young, had worked with Dr. Robert Young in her health issues, and quite frankly, it wasn't nice what she had to say about him. So I don't know. I'm sure people talk bad about me too. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about Dr. Robert Young. I really don't. I have been so busy all these years just healing up people. I haven't had a chance to go out and meet and greet. But I'm not good at meeting and greeting because I've been so alone, and that's where I live. I live in the alone state, so I don't really care to go out and meet and greet. I'm a loner. I'm a recluse in a way, so I have a hard time with the meet and greet. But I find this level is essential to be at to get the human race back on track and to save those people. You guys have proved this to the world over and over again. You guys are living proof of the light of God and the light of health. And I love you all for that. So if I get a little quirky once in a while with governments, forgive me. It's just my ranting and raving because all the pain that we see, all the people getting hurt every day, enough is enough is enough. And the AMA is it's going to get a lot worse yet because it's like a rattlesnake in a corner. They're going to fight for a while, thinking that they have to fight over something. Which you don't have to fight over truth, guys. Just you have to live it and be it. If you're living in a world that's not truthful, change. You're allowed to change anytime you want, you know. Change and join those that are healing people. That's what I say. Here's where there's a bit of a disconnect. While Dr. Young agrees that fruits are cleansers, he recommends against eating fruits during the healing stage because they're too high in sugar, which he claims causes excess acidity in the body due to fermentation and creation of microtoxins. Yada, 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 yada. If you don't digest your foods, any fruit or vegetable will ferment, and I will say that your vegetables tend to ferment most. You're going to get more gassy, bloaty on vegetables, those that have improper digestion, than you are on fruits, because they digest easier. Vegetables have sugars just like fruits. Yes, fruits have glucose and fructose, makes them a little sweeter. Okay. Love it. But it isn't sugar. Don't blame sugar. Fermentation, if you're fermenting your fruit sugars, you have real serious adrenal gland problems. Okay, and you could have serious pancreatic enzyme problems. Absolutely. You're not digesting your food properly and your sugar metabolism's off. So you fix those things. You don't eliminate the fruit. Everything gives off microtoxins. Everything. Sorry. That's why you have an immune system. And that's why you want your kids to go out and play in the dirt. That's why you want your kids to be around animals. The more you keep your kids away from any toxicities like that, the more they're going to be the little boy that lived in the bubble. If your kid's having problems with their lymph/immune systems, clean them out and fix them, which a lot of kids are going to. So you know what we're up against is a lot of children with kidney and adrenal weaknesses and lymphatic problems. And aren't we? Look at the neurological problems, as this one guy pointed out with the ADD and the ADHDs and the OCDs. Absolutely. We are a very neurotoxic society. So, point is, get your adrenal glands up, get your kidneys filtering, get the lymph cleaned out, strengthen your myelin sheaths, your nervous system, and you'll be able to survive the future. If not, your future is going to be like poor Ouija bird. He's fighting for his health. And Daniel got a lot of neurotoxicity from somewhere. So this young man is fighting for his health, and he's doing a good job, but he's going through Hellville doing it. So I don't know, some of you are going to be like that, and I don't know what to say other than we love you, we embrace you, and we are here to help you. That's all I know to do. Serge is also talking about sugar. Sugar's carbon. Let's get real. Sugar's carbon, and what's the essential energetic force of this planet? Oxygen and carbon. These are the two main forms that we combine to create energy. God did it, we do it, everybody's doing it. So you can't just say sugar's carbon. That's what we need. That's a required essential. Not protein. That's not a required essential. Nitrogen maybe, but we breathe that. So I don't see where this is an issue. Sugar is carbon. We need carbon. What's the deal? Carbon is the main move for all vertebrates. The cat family has the hardest time getting it, and you can tell it by their lack They don't have any muscle on them. They're always sleek and thin. You can always see their ribs. They sleep 20, 22 hours a day. They have no endurance. That's a meat eater. Primate, sugar eater, rip your face right off of you. So you can think whatever, Serge, but just saying. I've been on high fruit diet. Now, I will agree with this. An elephant can rip your face off too if he wanted to, or just step on you. Or you don't want to be bit by, kicked by, or stepped on by a horse, which I've been done by all three. All I can say is that we're not herbivores, though. We are more primate-ish, and you need those fruits. There's a lot more than sugars. You're not looking. There's a lot more than sugars in fruits. Highest flavonoids, highest astringents. These fruits are packed with nutrition, and the right kind. What else are they packed with? Magnetic. Thank you. Energy. Love it. Love it. Think what you want, do what you want. He said, I've been on high fruit for the past year, and it seems like my candida fungal problems have gotten much worse. Well, take an herb and kill them. Take an herb and kill them. Detox yourself. We always deworm people. Use nature to get rid of candida out of you. And by the way, fix your adrenal glands and clean your lymph system. That's all involved in candida. See, and here's something that Serge it's interesting you might think about. It's not about the fruit, it's about sugar metabolism. The adrenal glands. Go back there, Serge. If you're having a problem with fruit, you're having a problem with your adrenal glands. That'd be sugar metabolism. If you're having a problem digesting them, you're going to have a worse time digesting vegetables. Use a parasitic formula and kill candida. Move your lymph, because you'll never get rid of it completely without that. If you don't ever have good sugar metabolism, you always have fungus problems. Talk to God about that one. Don't talk to me. God's the one that makes them. And he makes them for sugar metabolism problems. Because you're fermenting your sugar, see? Don't always blame nature. Blame yourself and what's going on in your body sometimes. We always blame nature, God. Well, they're the problems. Fruits are the problems. Maybe how we raise them and pick them and everything, I'll be in line with you on that. But don't blame the nectar of the food on the planet for us as being the problem. Blame your body and fix it. That's what you got to do. And you're a good man, sir. So go after it, fix your adrenals, and you'll be in good shape, my friend. And I got to kind of pull off of here. I'm trying to catch up. This is from Betty. I'm still on fruits and lymph is still draining out of me. Wow. My eczema has spread a bit more from the last time. A bit on the sides of my face, on my lower belly to my top upper thighs. I also have lymph coming out of my belly button. I had a guy had a tumor come out of his belly button. Well, you're doing good, honey. Make sure you get on the GI broom, get your kidneys and adrenals up. For those that are trying to detox with just the fruits and stuff, it's going to be a rough go because, to tell you the truth, most people have stopped filtering well from their kidneys, and they have adrenal gland problems, so sugar metabolism is off. So yeah, we are struggling with just doing this with fruit. But this is why I went to the herbs myself. I finally said, we've got help here, and we can use that. So that's the beauty of the herbs, guys, is they can come in and they can help us. And that's very, very important that happen. Because you let the herbs come in and help you. That's what we're talking about Serge here with his candida problems. You got to get the herbs and start using them and getting a kill in your body and things. But get up, kick it up with the herbs. You might already be on them, I'm not sure. Clean your bowels out and keep moving on that lymph. And then it'll all be gone. Use Parasite M for fungus and stuff like that, and just keep moving that lymph. Look at your eyes and see how much lymph work you got ahead of you. That's the best way to do it. I think I've adequately shown you enough eyes here. We got some more we're going to go over. But at the same time, just remember, it's about your lymph systems. And that's why the rash on the skin. Very suggestive that you're not filtering well from your kidneys, dear, and your adrenals here. That's totally what that suggests. I was wondering, would it be considered too soon to go on a water fast? You might try a 2 or 3 day one. Just do a short one, see how you do. You don't have to do a long one. I was planning on doing a 21 day. Yeah, don't do a long one. Do a short little 3 day and see how you do. Always start out small and work yourself up. You don't have to go out and beat everybody. That's not important. Just take it as you can do it. You don't have to hurry. But considering how my body is breaking out, should I just stick with fruits for now? Betty from Vancouver, I tell you, you can try a 3-day fast and see if that'll help clear you up. You're definitely going to move lymph during those 3 days, so try that, and then just do a little 3-dayer though. And to make sure your urine, check your urine for sediment. Wow, this is I'm going to try to go through this, and forgive me here, but this is Jocelyn, Jocelyn, and I currently live in Hawaii. Let me see here. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for your kind comments. I love you guys too. It's one of these days here for me, so forgive me, but a million things going on. She's 21. She's been dealing with Candida. Here's another, must be Candida Day. Candida for over 5 years now, and just recently got a hold of the problem. Now look at this. My lower back, particularly my L4, my L5. Now how many times do we hear this, don't we? L4, L5. And you guys know exactly what's going on with her, don't you? Because you know what L4 and L5 represents. That's the lumbar region on the spine. They represent your kidneys. So here we go. She's got kidney problems, has always given me trouble. Well, what's on top of the kidneys? The adrenal glands. What's one of the events the adrenal glands perform? Sugar metabolism, hence Candida. And she could have sulfur, who knows. Always give me trouble. The joints constantly crack and pop, and every doctor I've ever been has always told me it's nothing to worry about. It's just because I'm flexible. But it's more of a grinding noise. Holy Lord, here we go. You know, the ignorance of the medical profession has to stop here. This is a real poor thing. But you see what's happening? Your lymph system's back up. You're moving calcium out of your joints. You're hearing it. You're hearing it. You got to go the other way. Check your parathyroid. Get your kidneys to filter. Get your adrenal glands up. Get your lymph moving, dear one. Get these acids out of here. Rebuild any calcium loss in the joints and connective tissue, and you'll be okay. She cracks all the way down her spine. I can speak. I know exactly where you are with this. I have many subluxations in my spine. You're too acidic. I'm just saying, you're too acidic. Your lymph needs to be filtering through your kidneys. This is obvious, and it's going to take your spine down too. Even when I get them adjusted by a chiropractor, they go out. Yeah. You have parathyroid, and thyroid. Make sure you're utilizing calcium. Get your kidneys filtering your lymph. Clean up your bowels and get that lymph drained down this back here and get your calcium utilization up. If you have to take the Bones formula for a while, take the Bones formula for a while. Because this is going to keep getting worse and worse on you. All of my years of school, my hands and feet were constantly clammy and cold. That problem is gone now that I've started raw. Yep. Ugh. Oh, I tell you what. And there's some more redneck shows going up. I forget what this other one was now coming up. There's the Hoggers. Now there's someone else coming up. Someone else. There's 3 or 4 of them. Pretty good. Going back to simplicity, are we? I have extreme fatigue. Well, see, here's your problem with your thyroid was low, so your parathyroid's probably low too, dear. You can tell that with the coldness. Extreme fatigue, so you know you're way down. You're young. You're way down with your adrenals. Your kidneys are problematic because you're L4, L5. Your spine, you got to turn this around, honey, before you start getting scoliosis and other real serious problems. You got to turn this thing around for you. She's been dealing with this extreme fatigue since she was a child. Well, of course, you're seeing the genetic past in these tissues really, really bad. Just what we're talking about here on this channel. Be a good place for you. Up until I was 19, I ate a standard American diet, lots of processed foods. I believe I have IBS, that's irritable bowel syndrome, and malabsorption issues. Get on the GI broom, stomach and bowel, whatever, and lymphatic 1 cap. Start cleaning that out real good so you can get your absorption back. Again, you got to get your kidneys filtering your lymph system, sweetheart. Got to do this. When I was 17, my hair started shedding and I got progressively worse over time. Holy crap. I took tons of antibiotics growing up, especially with my Candida. Gave her antibiotics for Candida. Look at that. Oh, that's another stupid thing. Just gave her more Candida. First became a problem. Doctors were shoving them down my throat. I switched completely raw 18 days ago. 18 days is all. First 2 meals of my day, fresh tropical fruits and melons. Yeah, well, you should have an interesting detox here, sweetheart, with a big green salad at the end of the day. Now you're on the right road. Now you're cooking, sweetheart. You keep it up, dear one. You got a little genetics to redo. Get your lymph cleaned up. Power up your thyroid and parathyroid. Get your skeletal system back strong again. And you've got it, dear. Avert fat-free now for 10 days. Wow. Oh, I started taking God's herbs 25 days ago. Lymphatic system, kidney, bladder, parasite, and bowel. Woo! After doing my research and with the help of your videos, I've come to the conclusion that I have extreme adrenal fatigue. Well, you were born, honey. This is what's going on here, and we have to wake up to this. Genetic passing is unreal. We just have to get ourselves healthy before we start having our children. That way we'll have healthy children, and the souls coming in will have a good body to experience, and they can help us out, because you mothers are bringing in some high souls here. You can tell already. A lot of you mothers, I've talked to you and your children, and we've got some high souls coming to the planet in crappy little bodies. We need to get these bodies healthy so these powerful beings can help us. I've been taking it now for 2 days. Since doing all of this, my hair is falling out in clumps. Well, probably might yet. Again, you got a thyroid going on here, and if your lymph is that bad that you're losing your hair in clumps, you need to kick up your thyroid a little bit, get a glandular or the thyroid, however you want to do that, but get your thyroid up, get upper circulation. I'll tell you that right off. Get upper circulation, get blood moving into those hair follicles. You'll probably stop the hair loss and start growing new hair. But get that at least. Clean up your bowels. Clean up your bowels. Get your kidneys filtering. Absolutely. Which I was very scared about at first, but now embrace it because I know I'm shedding away the weak cells. Exactly. And exactly what's going to happen. You're going to throw away your weak cells, and you see that internally too, so people freak out, but there is a resurrection going on. There's a getting rid of and a rebuilding going on. Just remember that constantly. So you're going to lose tissue, you're going to gain tissue. It's a process. It's a well-known process, and we freak out, but we're taking it to the edge of the universe. We're taking it to where we need it. We're right in the mix. So we're going to see ups and downs of the body getting itself well, so don't freak out. The body rebuilds itself always. Remember that. Some of you have got yourself pretty far down into some very painful, very scary areas, so get yourself back. We're all here to help you. You're not alone, and yet you're totally alone. Enjoy your aloneness, because it's through that doorway of your aloneness that you'll find the big alone. And the big alone is the big cheese, the omnipresent, the omnipotent, that which lives alone, that which is alone, but that which is all things. So the only way you can find that is through your aloneness. That's the secret doorway. That's why Jesus and people go to caves and places to be alone. I know I am shedding away the weak cells and will grow. Oh, big time, healthier things. Quite a letter, sweetheart, so I'm not... You got a lot of questions here, so forgive me. My heart needs some help, and I think it would really help with my hair problems. Some other healing crisis I've had, I like to be... My fingers smelled like flaming hot Cheetos. Oh my God! This is funny. Oh, this is good. This is good. Now, this is pretty good. You're going to have to admit it. Now, this is pretty good. This makes my day here. In her detoxification, her fingers smelled like flaming hot Cheetos for 2 days straight. Well, you see what those... I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know. My God, honey. You see that toxic crap they sell us? Look at that stuff absorbed into your skin subcutaneously, and now your body's spitting it out. Good for you, honey. But interesting, isn't it? Boy, I've seen this many times, and all kinds of stink and stuff come out of people from all kinds of foods. I was addicted to them from grade 6 to 9. She'd been eating them 6 to 9, and she's 21, and now she's cleaning all the residue. That means all those residues, sweetheart, didn't go anywhere. They just stayed there. Well, what does things do when they just stay there? Just hang around? Well, what side of chemistry do they belong to? Is it a base chemistry? Are those Cheetos goopy? Is that acid chemistry, or is that... See what I'm saying? Wow. The back half of my tongue is completely stained brown. indicating kidney toxins. I'm smelling pretty toxic. Oh, honey, you need this bad. Oh, man, that's funny. I'm starting to get tons of mucus out of me through my stool. Woo, woo. The first 3 days on the herbs, my kidneys swelled up so bad that I couldn't walk for 2 days. I was in extreme pain. You should have called. And when I did try to stand up to walk, I got extremely dizzy and went in and out of vision. I couldn't hear anything around me, and my ears started ringing really loud. I lived by myself and somehow managed to get to the fridge, grab watermelon. I thankfully already had cut up, and thankfully it went away. Food is power. Honey, you're the first one that said that properly. Food is power. The right food is more power. Question 1. My bowels are extremely loose every day. Is this because my body is getting used to the diet? Will this hopefully subside? Well, it shows GI tract problems, liver or pancreatic problems. To tell you the truth, get on the GI broom, stomach and bowel number 1. Try to slow yourself down a little bit. At the same time, you're cleaning the liver, you're cleaning the pancreas, you're cleaning the bowel wall. Question number 2. What do you think of copper's IUDs? Not much. I need some form of birth control, and copper loves the kidneys, so you could have the potential to harm kidneys with this. I don't know what to say. I'm working on, excuse me, a birth control, but I don't know. Question 3. I get lightheaded and dizzy really easy. What could be the cause of this, and what foods could help? Cerebellum. The cerebellum. We talk a lot about this on this channel. The cerebellum, and a lot of people have this problem. Medulla, mastoid ear. This is all your equilibrium, vertigo, dizzy center. This is where your blood pressure swings to. This is the seat of the parasympathetic. This is all the process. And what happens when this starts to get inflamed? What causes inflammation or swelling? Acids, the lymph system, absolutely. So with the lymph system, and you're back, you just been describing yourself lymphatically all the way here, dear. So you got to drain this part of you got to get up in the brain, upper circulation. Remember, your hair's coming out in clumps. This isn't a thyroid, this is a lymphatic. So your lymph system's back way up in your head, sweetheart. Get this out of there now, and get this cleaned up. Got to clean up the bowels. Nuno number 1. Stomach and bowel number 1. Lymphatic 1 capsules 2-3 times a day. I would for me and the GI broom. Question number 3 or 4. I'm just now starting to detox really good and getting my lymph moving. Yeah. I'm seeing some really great results from these herbs. Problem is I'm living on this island by myself, supporting myself, and I don't really have help from my parents or anyone. Living this raw lifestyle is extremely expensive. No kidding. My health is priceless to me. I want to thank you. Honey, well, you can call Jennifer if you want, or Brenda, and see if there's anything on the back shelf. I've been helping a lot of people here, sweetheart, so I'm really trying to help everybody as much as we can. So just keep that in mind. We might have something for you back there. Good work, by the way. And keep pulling your body back into a state of wellness, dear one. You're on the right track. And just remember what all is going on here. You'll be okay, dear. Sounds like your body's responding to your love of it. This is David Graham, adrenal fatigue and teeth loss. Hi, I have been suffering from what I think is adrenal fatigue for over 20 years now. I have many symptoms including eye floaters, thin hair, ringing ears, and many more over the last 2 weeks. My teeth have started to break out. They have become very sensitive and translucent. I am very worried. Can you advise what to do? This is David G. from Scotland. Hey, my brother. I have your lymph, kidney, adrenal, and heal all herbs. Well, I would take a good look at this. Same thing with this other girl. Clean up my head area, get my bowels cleaned up, drain my lymph. At the same time, you might consider your thyroid and parathyroid gland, because the problem that we're seeing here is a lot of the thyroid and parathyroids are down. The calcium utilization is down. Therefore, the teeth are going, the bones are going, blah, 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 blah. Fruit doesn't rip your body apart like that. These are acids that do that. And fruit isn't acids. Every food has its acid breakdown. I mean, there's always acid counterparts to all foods, no matter which ones. It's just your high-protein foods are by far the worst, by far. So eye floaters, that's the lymphatic system. Thin hair, lymphatic system. Ringing of ears, lymphatic system, maybe tied to adrenals too. All that's your lymph system, directly connected to kidneys and adrenals. So you're right about that. So keep going, my brother. You're doing well. Love and light from the UK. Love you, dear. Thank you so much. This is Kieran. This lady needs some guidance here. Thank you, sweetheart, for all your wonderful comments. I have been ill for years. Look at this. There's so many people that are sick for years, guys. We need all of us on board here. You guys, be the healers that you are. You all are the greatest souls, the God men and women of this planet. I love every one of you. You Facebook people, all you guys are great. Keep helping these. Look at this poor lady. There's another lady that suffered for years. But particularly so for the last 9 months. I have chronic neck and shoulder pain, dizziness. Remember, this is all important. People having these same symptoms. What could be causing this real tight, stiff shoulder, this dizziness from the cerebellum? Is it tied together as all one? Absolutely. What is this? This is the lymph system backed up, causing pressure and inflammation. And where you have that, you have swelling. This is what it is, sweetheart. This is going back. How simple is this? But did God intend for this to be a crossword puzzle of unsolvable words? No. We make it that way. The mind makes, the negative forces make it this way. They just don't want you to know. So chronic neck and pain, you got to move your lymph. That's kidney and adrenals. You're down. You got to fix them, sweetheart. That is controlling this. And it's all in the head. Dizziness, cerebellum, fatigue, memory loss, nerve pain, burning pain, head sensitivity, sensitivity to sound. Well, your head could get so bad, sweetheart, you feel like you want to scream, you want to kill yourself, because the pressure's too much. It can't handle it anymore. You got to fix this one and get to it right now, dear one. You got to fix this. You got to hit and go with this. Absolutely. You're already doing it, sounds like here. I have overactive parathyroid with high blood calcium, or you're not utilizing it. Maybe you don't have enough calcitonin from the thyroid, so you got to look at that. Maybe your thyroid's off here. So I am concerned that taking glandular tinctures would make it even more overactive. If you truly have an overactive parathyroid and you have good calcitonin and everything else, just detox. Just detox. Don't give yourself anything for the parathyroid. You can give yourself something for the adrenals, but I wouldn't give yourself something for the pituitary either, because the pituitary controls the parathyroid. So I think you really need to detox the brain. Well, to detox the brain, you have to detox everything below it first. And that includes the GI tract, the axillary lymph nodes, and where do they all drain through? Blood, liver, kidneys. I have a small tumor, well, get this, I have a small tumor on the pituitary and a larger one on my adrenal gland. That's not good. I intend to shrink these tumors naturally with the botanicals, as I know how important the adrenal glands are. I am chronically overweight. Well, how about the pituitary? That controls them all, sweetheart. And that's, of course, making your parathyroid either hyperactive or hypo on your thyroid, where you're not utilizing that calcium. You need both calcitonin from the thyroid and parathormone from the parathyroid. You actually need both of those glands working for you. You need to detox BAD, badly, now. Not yet, not tomorrow. Now, dear. You don't mess around with pituitary tumors. You don't mess around with any tumors. Get them out. You got to get yourself moving and get yourself detoxing, honey, and get yourself feeling better. This is horrible. I candle my ears. I am drinking lemons every morning. Yeah, eating grapes, blueberries, cherries to help my lymph and kidneys. I take Chinese kidney and digestive herbs. I eat no meat or dairy. And keep going. Go on these grape fasts for 20, 30 days. You need to go on a 20-day grape fast. Get moving on these higher fruit fasts, dear. You need it bad. Get this drained. Get this drained. You can't get it drained, though, until you get the bowels cleaned up. And you could have sulfur blocking you from antibiotic use. See how the medical doctors set us up for these things? I'm just saying, truth is truth. We all have to take it. Are your botanicals available to get in the UK, EU? Absolutely. I know I will need some of them. You will. And I would do it yesterday instead of to tomorrow. I'm telling you, honey, get these tumors out. I get these tumors out. It may be hard for me to order them. I really hope a European distributor could be organized. I hope one day I can help people who suffer. You will, sweetheart. You first. Ron from the UK. Ron, Let's get moving, Ron. Get moving. You're doing really good. Let's kick it up. Let's get the GI broom. Get your stomach and bowels. Get your lymphatic. You need 2 lymphatics. Get your kidneys. You get popping on this, Ron, and get that out of there, okay, my friend? And then we'll all have a party later and celebrate with some fresh organic navel oranges. Okay. All right, here's another one real quick. Oh, you know what? This person asked me to cut myself on it. I would if I was a fruitarian right now. I'm not a fruitarian, or I'd show you exactly how it works. Let's pull Arnold Laird out of his grave. Raw food trailer. I have a giant goiter on my thyroid. Can you please direct me to one person who has been able to shrink theirs? TY. TY, call in, and there's an acupuncturist, a very good acupuncturist, by the way. She had a major goiter. She was at our last school, our last class, or the class before the last one. And all the class members got to see her. Major goiter here. Of course, where is it now? Doesn't exist. Why? Because she detoxed. And what was the goiter from? Lymphatic system. So yeah, absolutely, you can talk to her all you want. Matter of fact, we've had hundreds of cases of goiters now gone. Why? Because we're focusing in on what causes them. That's all you got to do. But have them get them. I can't remember her name. You can call here, call Drew or Shannon, and they'll give you her name, and you can talk to her. She'll be happy to talk to you. If anybody filmed 2 classes ago, she should be on that one. I don't sit here and whistle Dixie, and one thing I don't do is lie to you. Never. I don't need the bad karma. Not in my mix. Dr. Morrissey? It's Morris. I'm not sure how the best way to send a question to you, so I will ask on here. This is a good way. I am 28 years old, pretty healthy. About 5 months ago, all of a sudden, got extreme brain fog. Feel like there is a brick stuck in my head. Can't think clearly. Fatigue. I have a hard time driving a lot of times. This seems to make symptoms worse. My symptoms come and go throughout the day. If I exercise, the symptoms the next day are much worse. Okay, doctors keep telling me it's anxiety, but I know it's not. When you exercise, remember when we talked about exercise and you guys thought I was nuts? But here's a good case here to show you that when she exercises, her symptoms are worse. Where's her problem? One of 2 places. Lymphatics for sure, and maybe the nervous system. In exercise, you burn a lot of nerve energy. You're supposed to relax in after you exercise and build back your nerve energy. Which gland does that, by the way? Oh, the adrenals? Oh, yes. Interesting. The recharging unit of the human body. Absolutely. So this is my point, is that this poor lady isn't getting her lymph moving well after exercise, and therefore it exacerbates this swelling and pain. Say, dear one, and this is how symptoms can happen. Suddenly you can go along, life's good, going, and wham! Well, how did this just happen? It's been building, and then suddenly the door opens and ka-wham! Wait a minute. This happened. No. This has been building. That's the illusion called diseases. Now, you got to move your lymph system at all costs. I would get in upper circ, that's upper circulation, and brain and nerve. That's what I would do for me. I'd get blood moving all in my head. I'd be strengthening my nervous system. That'd be very important. Second, detox. Kill the fungus in the body. Get the lymph draining through the kidneys and adrenals. Get the adrenals up. Start draining this head. Candle your ears. I do 3 candles per. Start doing that now. Take off any pressure now, because you're moving toward that case I just mentioned, extreme head pressure. No, and a lot of people are moving there because this is all backed up here. GI tract, esophagus. Look at all the esophageal cancers, the voice box cancers, the palate cancers now. So this is the lymph system. We must get this moving, dear. You must get this moving. BTRISTAN 4242. So this is got to move in your lymph, dear. You got to move your lymph. Whoever this is, move your lymph. Dr. Morris, can we please see a pic of a perfectly healthy eye? I've showed several of them. I'll show you 2 more. Real healthy eye. See how all those fibers are nice and straight? And the next time I do another eye here for you guys, I will show you these again. See how straight those fibers are? There's no lacunas or patterns. No other colors. No. There's another good one. She's 90-some years old, eating a lot of raw foods. I won't say she's 100% raw foodist by any stretch. Yes, let's see. Hey, doc, I have a girlfriend on bioidentical therapy for 4 years. She is starting to run into problems, and this is the problem. And thinking of taking testosterone to correct the imbalances that the other steroids created. See how ridiculous that is? You're taking steroids, they're unbalancing your body because they're shutting down your glands, and then you want to take another one to try to balance what those did. You see what I'm saying? You'll never... Excuse me, this type of thinking never wins. This type of thinking only gets these poor ladies in deeper trouble and deeper trouble and deeper trouble. That's another thing I feel sorry for. All these ladies and all the medical doctors hurting their glands and it's like that. These guys are out of control, they're nuts, and they're crazy. Some of them are really good, they're coming around, but how long does it take? How many people have to suffer? Yeah, you'll get there. What has it been? She is starting to run into problems, I tell her she's crazy, messing with her hormones. You are right. Have you or can you do a show on BIH therapy, the benefits, dangers, examples of women that you have helped with hormone issues? Oh my God, please. I wouldn't even begin to help you there because we're talking, oh, thanks. You had to go away and do that? Okay, thanks. Tens of thousands of women I've helped. Tens of thousands. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer, guys. You take a hormone or steroid, it's a no-brainer you're going to lose your gland. That's fact. If a medical doctor doesn't know that now, take your degree, rip it up, and go dig ditches or something. Fact. I'm done. It's a fact that you're going to lose your glands when you take your hormones and steroids. Why lose the adrenals any more than they are already? See, the illusion is that you're going to take these steroids, they're going to make you healthier, and they make your glands weaker. And when they make your glands weaker, you're going to take more. That's the problem. You see, it's a catch-22 that some women can't hardly get out of because their glands are so not producing their steroids and hormones. Hey, I'm about done here. I just want to finish up here. And this is Lucy. Dr. Morris, you are such a... Thanks, sweetheart. Thanks from the bottom of my heart, dear one. Me too. Thank you very much. What, are we having a party out there in the hall? Well, come in.
All right.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. 59-year-old female. I've had hemorrhoids, insomnia for the past 12 years. Every other night for 12 years, I have not been able to fall asleep until 5 a.m. What would you do? I'm saying...
Watch CNN.
Watch CNN. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, if you want to go to sleep, watch CNN. Oh, that hurt. I like CNN. Kinda. I like Robin Meade. She sings good. Yeah, she's good. How about pineal gland? That sounds good. Sounds like this lady's got some things going up in her head area, don't you think?
If she's up at 5 a.m., she can call you.
Yeah, she can call me. I'm up at 5 a.m. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I get for Roger. Hire someone like that. I sleep fine for one night. However, things I may not sleep at all for 4 nights running. Lucy, I'd detoxify myself. Get your eyes. See what's going on up here. See if your lymph is back real up. Remember, this transverse bowel controls the pituitary, the pineal, and all that. You might want to clean up your bowels really good, get your kidneys. Everybody needs that anyway. So, what I mean, you're going to really make a big indent in the human body if you do that. So clean up that. Start getting up in here with upper circuit, brain, and nerve. I think it'll be real helpful. You can use a pineal glandular, maybe 2 before you go to sleep, about 2 hours before you go to sleep. The only time I would probably take a pineal glandular. See if that'll be helpful. But in reality, you got to clean and make healthy. Hi, Dr. Morris. I think you're one of the guys. Oh, thanks. I love you guys. Thanks. You really keep me propped up here. I tell you, it's a shame that we always have to fight for the truth that we want to live and experience. It's just a shame. It's a shame people just can't. Wake up and go, what? Look, I love your differences. We're all different. This is a beautiful planet. Let's all try to work together and be happy. We got to feed ourselves. Let's try feeding ourselves and making sure everybody has a halfway decent place to stay. And if you're having addictive problems, let's help you with that. That's too much for this level, isn't it? I'm writing for my father. He is 60 years old. In 2005, he got prostatitis. Okay, now he didn't catch prostatitis, right? And this is how this come off. In 2005, he got prostatitis. No, he's been creating prostatitis through years of having kidney problems and adrenal gland problems and eating bad diets. And even if he ate a fairly good diet, if he didn't detoxify, he could still get prostatitis, especially with kidney and adrenal weakness, because you can eat all raw. You can eat all raw. Your body's still producing acids, and if your lymph system isn't filtering, guess what? You still have problems. So we have a lot of raw food has come in here. We have to detoxify. That's a whole nother level of conversation, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you don't have to be a fruitarian in your life. I'm not advocating that. Although it'd be beautiful we had that level of fruit to do that with. But in a detoxification, boy, you can't beat the help. They're at the level you need, and for neurological rebuilding, they're the only help. So I don't know what to say. Prostatitis, immediately, kidneys and adrenals, immediately. Now, prostatitis is pretty easy. You didn't give me a PSA number here. See where he's at in his PSAs. Find out what his PSAs are. He'll have to have a little blood work for that. But that's a big-time kidney problem and adrenal problem. And you have to handle those two to get remedy to prostatitis. What is prostatitis? Inflammation of the prostate. Now, what word can we use in place of inflammation? In other words, what causes inflammation? Acid/protein. Thank you. Then, since then, he has had chronic pelvic pain. Now, I need a drink of water for that one. This is not, I don't like this, okay? Now, I'm just going to be a straight shooter here. Your dad needs to listen to this, Josie. When you have chronic hip pain right there, you got two choices. Remember, this is the lymph system backing up in the prostate. Well, we know the lymph system doesn't back up in the prostate, does it? Where else does it back up in? Hips, knees, legs, hearts, livers, bowels, heads. It's a systemic problem. He's seeing where the problem is locally right now. Slowly it's developing in the head, and it's all over. This is something that has to be corrected. Now, the pelvic area can be broken down by the same acids, of course. Same system that creates the prostatitis, creates the pelvic pain, doesn't it? Absolutely. The fear here is bone cancer. So I don't know what your dad's PSAs are, but you cannot just watch this like medical doctors like to do. You know why medical doctors like to watch things? Because they have no clue how to fix it. If you have a clue how to fix something, you don't sit there and watch it. Look, your alternator's bad, but we'll just watch it. Ha! You don't do stuff like that. This lady, this poor 30-year-old I have with a 3-year-old girl, started out with a brain tumor. We're just going to watch it. Now they watched it so long they can't even operate on it, and we're her only hope. And Jesus, it's a little late. It's a 3-year-old girl. She can get it out if she gets right to it. But Jesus Christ. So this your dad could be a little more serious than that. Or hips genetically come with weakness in the kidneys and adrenals, because why? You're not moving your lymph, you lose your knees, you lose your hips, you lose your shoulders, you lose your elbows, you lose your wrists. You see what I'm saying? This is a systemic problem. And this has been going on. The biggest fear here is get this out now. Tell your dad, no matter what he thinks in terms of diet or anything else, get this out, because he's facing hip and back cancer. God can't do this. It's classical problems with prostatitis. Hopefully it's just a little acid burn to the hip, a little loss of lymph, get our bone, get that cleaned up, rebuild that hip, and we're good. Even if it was bone cancer, you'd have to do the same thing. He is in agony every minute of the day and has to wear extremely strong pain patches and take many painkillers. Your dad's in trouble, sweetie. Your dad's in trouble. He's got to get himself out of this trouble. This is a lot more than probably what you even know and he's even telling you, because this is really a serious problem. This level of pain and things could be bone cancer with that. He's probably had a biopsy or something, but So I put, and I don't find a cancer cell where I biopsy, doesn't mean there's none. And it doesn't matter. It's not about the cancer cell. It's about the acids breaking down the cells. They'll break down the hips. They'll break down all the cells. They'll break down everything. So your dad's really in trouble. He needs to get himself on, get focused, and get his body detoxed, get these acids out, and start rebuilding ASAP, because there's no remedy. And the more pain pills, they're neurotoxic. They go down. There goes down the nervous systems. There goes down the adrenals, and then he gets to the point where you can't get him back because he doesn't care about life anymore. Best way to kill someone is put him on morphine sulfate. I'm just saying. For the last 6 years, he has weighed 8.5. For the last 6 years, he had weighed 8.5 stone, 119 pounds. He is 6'1". So he already has a pituitary problem. He already has bowel problems. I can tell you that already. No matter how much he eats, he cannot put on weight because he's got a systemic lymphatic problem, dear. He's got malabsorption. He can't put on weight. So this is serious. Very, 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 very serious. He needs to get to this. And he needs to clean out his gut so he can get absorption going on. He needs to do it anyway. Thank God the prostate is very close to the kidneys, and it's not a difficult area if he gets right to this. If he's got cancer spread all through the back and everything else, got a lot of work ahead of him, but he still can do it. I think there might be something wrong with his digestion. No kidding. And has funny reactions to. He has to drink sodium bicarbonate drink every night to help. Your dad is so acidic, he needs to live on sodium bicarbonate. Well, you know how you live on sodium and bicarbonate? Eat fruit, berries, and melons. That's sodium and bicarbonate in its own way. I'm just saying. He has had severe migraines his whole life, one every 2 weeks. They completely, no kidding, I know what those are like. If he eats wheat, he can trigger a migraine within 30 minutes, and it'll last for up to a week. He has high bilirubin. Well, that's because his eyes are yellow. Your dad's in trouble. He isn't a little in trouble. He's a lot in trouble, honey. You got to get him listening to this YouTube video for him. This is real important. This is liver going down. But it would go down because he's malabsorbed. It means he's got lymphatic problems interstitially in the wall of the gut. And, of course, the liver and pancreas is what? Just a branch off the tree, right? The gut being the tree, right? So you're going to have hepatic problems. You're going to have pancreatic. And look, oh no, it's going on up into his head. Absolutely. No, your dad's in trouble. He needs to get with it, Josie. I'm telling you, I love you too, dear. But you get your dad straightened around here or there's going to be some problems there you're not going to like. I'm sorry about that, Dad. You got to listen to me, son. I've been around a long time and know what you're in trouble. I've had tens of thousands of your cases and you're in trouble. You got to fix this one. And here's the tools on this website. And your daughter's going to have the tools for you. Need to do it. Need to do it or make your plans. Because this is nothing ever good comes with what you're going through. I'm amazed you put up with it this long. Are there any herbs for parathyroid if I may take and connective tissue? You know, berries, all I can tell you, all the berries are good for the glands. We don't know specific herbs for parathyroids. Connective tissue is going to be your comfreys. Oh, wait a minute. The FDA outlawed comfrey root and leaf, which is used by thousands of mountain people for generations with not a near problem. Lawsuit, smell a lawsuit in the air? Smells good too. Can't wait. I got a lot of, we've got so much facts and figures. These guys have buried themselves a huge hole, and that's what I love about corruption and stuff. They don't see the holes that they're burying themselves in. Funny. Connective tissue, use the Bones formula, of course, but get your body alkaline. Quit pulling the calcium away. Now, I'm really way over. I've got to go real bad here. My 7-year-old niece had eczema as a baby. That means her lymph system is backed up like since she was a little baby. But when the babies are attached to who? For 9 months or around that? Mother? Oh, yeah? 4 weeks ago, she broke her left... Oh, my God. A 7-year-old just broke her left arm, and I've noticed the skin on the palm of her left hand has become all dry, scabbed, and flaky. Well, what's her problem? This little baby's got major kidney and adrenals, major systemic lymphatic problems. This little 7-year-old's not a baby anymore. This 7-year-old needs to be fixed. This is a little cancer case waiting. This poor little girl, you need to fix her, man. This appears something like eczema. This is acids. You can have any name you want on it. Don't matter what name you put on it. Of course, it could be those hot red What are those Cocoa Puffs or what were those cheese puffs or something? It could be those hot cheese puffs. See what I'm saying? We've got toxicities. What does that? And we've got to get the toxicity out of us. But what makes it stay in us? Kidney and adrenals, number one. Number two, the type of food you're eating, obviously. If you don't have a self-cleaning food, you don't have a self-cleaning food. And fruits are self-cleaning, thank you. So are raw vegetables, somewhat self-cleaning, thank you. Not starch. That thing packs the body with glue. Gluten is a glue. Protein stinks and puts the body full of acids. Dairy products full of mucus. Good food. Mucus, good food. Oh, yeah, we got to get over those days. 4 weeks ago, she broke her left arm, da-da-da-da-da. She appears something like this. She is reasonable to think that a broken arm would worsen an autoimmune condition. This is not an autoimmune condition. This is not. Throw that word in the wastebasket, or your medical doctors will control you mothers and everything else the rest of your lives and take your kids down to Hellville. Throw the autoimmune problem. This girl has got an autoimmune problem. She's got kidneys. She's got adrenals. She's got subcutaneous skin toxicity. She's all these things. I know I'm hurrying. So you got to get this little girl fixed up. It's not her broken arm. This just exacerbated everything. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. I'm done here, and I've got to write these because I've got to get out of here. How observe? How about the acids created by the injury are getting? Ooh, I love you YouTubers. They're smart. Dude, look at this. These guys are learning.
They're getting it.
They're getting it.
That.
Woo! Exactly. This lady is right on how observe. How about the acids created by the injury are getting expectorated through the skin because the kidneys aren't filtering them? Yeah. 5 gold stars! Woo! All right. This is German Cut. Of course he gets it. This is a smart kid. Keep going, guys. You're doing good. I love you all. I got to run. Barak Rashab, may the blessings be, and namaste. Get into that alone state and enjoy the aloneness and the beauty of yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye. Drew, you want to get this for me? I'm going to write these up and get the heck out of here.
Tell
you
them
want to say a few words?
Be patient with their healing. Just be patient.
Be patient with your healing. The words
Absolutely.
from the Master. What, do we have anything else, Master? Master Wong? With that haircut, I mean, you look like a...
No, don't.
You need that robe.
I know. Oh, the cloak, right?
The cloak, the robe.
Yeah, the robe.
Yeah, the Zen thing, you know.
Monk.
The Buddhist monk.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a fun day, guys.